you said that coddling is a form of abuse.
It is.
I'd like to get into that.
The coddling it starts in early childhood, because if you don't give a young boy, the mamas, let's say dad is hard on the boy, but
Right.
mom is going behind dad's back
Right.
and babying him.
Okay.
What are you teaching him? You know, you don't have to baby him, but you can teach him, you know, in different ways. It's the women. And then what's
Yeah, when you go behind a father and you overstep the rules that he set, and you give the boy, a leeway to do what his father told him not to do, or you okay what he did and the father didn't, yeah, you really giving him a skewed version of a reality or rules, period. So he's going to probably not think what he did was wrong because you overstepped the father. You're on his back.
happening now as a result of the coddling? It's confusing the man, and he's getting angry. We're seeing a rise in matricide, and that's men murdering their mothers because they resent mom for babying them, because now they're going out in the world and expecting their girlfriends and wives to do it, and the women are like,
I'm not doing
I'm
it.
not doing this.
Yeah.
I said that in a couple of my videos. Women are creating these soft men. We're in a soft, overly emotional man era because of the women they're doing to their fathers. I mean, to their sons, period. Yeah, and then, a lot of women get with dudes that's mama boys. See, yeah, son, husbands, mama boys, yeah.
I'm not your mom. So that repressed anger, he's got to lash out on somebody. So they're taking it back to mom and sister and the women in the family, and they're messing up everybody because he's got to blame somebody. He's not going to take accountability. So he's got to go back to the person that gave birth to him.
Wow.
That coddling creates a monster. Wow. So
it creates a overly emotional man who don't have any control over his emotions. And those kind of men are the worst things for the world. They will lash out and everybody will be taken out. And we have seen a lot of that lately. They're taking out their whole families and the children. They just lashing out and say, forget everybody. Yeah, overly emotional men are the worst things for the planet, period. They have no control over anything, and then the anger is so heavy because of the testosterone inside their blood. So yeah, it goes from emotional to anger, crazy anger, out of control anger.
it is abuse, because you have to teach him to be responsible. You have to teach him how to channel his anger, his emotions, and these mothers don't do that.
And to be able to deal with adversity as
Yes.
well. Yeah, that's a big thing that I see, that parents are skipping that step. That they don't want their kids to struggle. Your kids need to struggle.
Yeah.
We're not talking about like financially that they have to be eating garbage, but it's more about you have to get through certain challenges in your life in certain stages. Adolescence, when you're young teens, or old young person, adult, you need these challenges and these steps to say, okay, I handled that. How did I handle?
Yeah, it builds character. You go through things, even as a child, you get talked about by other kids who probably have more than you, or think that you look funny. It builds a strong character. You learn how to defend yourself, even if it ain't physically, it's verbally. For real, you learn how to defend yourself. A lot of kids don't know how to do that. They don't know how to they don't know how to socialize. Most of them are socially awkward because all they do is look at the phone. So when they're in person with somebody, they really don't know how to get along with nobody. I just experienced that with a child yesterday. Um, he has the only child syndrome. I'm not sure, but he comes over here with my daughter, and instead of him asking her, can he see what she got in her hand, or asking, can he play with it, he just take it. And I said, you can't just take it. You have to ask her stuff. You can't just take it. He had no idea he was doing anything wrong. Yeah. So yeah, you gotta control. And he's just single. He's a single mama. That's all we seen. So he really don't know how to get along. He was riding a little boy scooter. The little boy was telling him to get off. He didn't understand what that meant. He wouldn't get off. The little boy had to snatch him off. So he don't even know how to respect other kids' things because his mother's not teaching him that.
That I handled that pretty well. What lessons did I learn from that? Okay, cool. On to the next one. So now when the next challenge happens, I know what this feels like and I have the tools to be able to deal with it.
Why are we seeing so many 50 and 60-year-old men living in the basement of their mama's house?
Yeah.
The mama keeps coddling.
Right.
There's a man that just, he unalived his mother. I don't know the exact story. She might have been 60, 70 years old. And she told him, no, he can't borrow her car. And he took her life. That's it.
Yep. I've seen, we probably seen the same story. Yep. When you tell somebody yes a million times and you tell them no, that's foreign to them. They can't believe no. They won't accept no because they don't even know what no means. Guess what? When you go out in the world and you deal with people, you're going to get rejected. You're going to get no. You're going to get ridiculed sometimes. You're going to get talked about. It's just a part of the world. It's how people are. And a lot of these people are very sensitive to any little thing. You know what I'm saying? Why you think you see a lot of emotional, unstable people nowadays? Any little thing bothers them, they lose it. They go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them been coddled. They never learn how to socialize with people. So the normal people and everyday people in the world, the way they interact with people, it's not normal to them. If somebody look at them weird, they're insecure, they think somebody's talking about them. And they probably ain't even talking about them, but they never really socialize with people. Or, they've been coddled so much that they really never learned how to interact. They never learned what it really what it really is. Period. And it's unpredictable. And they don't know that.
You coddled him his entire life. You never told him
no. Yeah.
So they're taking their anger out on the person who coddled them from day one.
Right.
Because women are not putting up with it anymore.
Yeah.
We're saying we'd rather be single. I'm not raising. It was your mother's job to raise you correctly. She might have coddled you and gave you your way. I'm not going to do that. I need a man. I don't need a boy. So he's angry. He's not going to, because he's narcissistic, sociopath, psychopath. He's not going to take accountability. He's just going to lash out.
Yeah, but here's another thing. We would see women that dealt with men like that, but then they repeat the same cycle. They would do the same thing to their son. Seriously. They would do the exact same thing to their son. Everything they want in a man, they would dress their son like they would possibly dress the boyfriend. They would treat their son like he's the man of the house. He's the boyfriend. Yeah, so they do the same thing. They might hate it, but then they repeat it. They never, they never really get rid of the same habits. The things that they hate. They create these men that they don't like at all. And then they complain about them. That's the problem. Create these little emotional little boys, and then you date one and you can't stand them. Y'all got to acknowledge that part. Don't create these little boys, and these are the kind of men that's destroying the world. Seriously. Think about